So here's the setup guide for the WAKN ankle grounding strap. What's included is the grounding strap, 2 extra wires, different lengths, just to give you more flexibility, or if any of the parts wear out, you can easily replace them yourself by just unscrewing this bolt and this screw or this nut. And then what's also included is a nail. That's what you'll use to puncture a hole in the bottom of your shoe to install it. 2 O-ring receptacles. What these are used for is you can replace the grounding straps. Like if anything were to wear out, what you would do is strip the wire and put one of these on there. I'll do a demonstration of what I mean with this. And then also what's included is one with a screw and a little nut. And here's a little clip on what I use that for, to make this product a little more flexible, just in case you find you don't want to use it on your shoe or you want to use it for another purpose. I use this at night as a grounding ankle strap. I have a wire running outside my bedroom, and then this goes on my ankle, and that's how I sleep grounded. So here's a video on that. And then what else is included is 4 screws, 4 different sizes. Most people are going to use the shortest screw. What else is included? They're called T-nuts, and that's what goes on the bottom of your shoe. There's 3 different length necks. If your shoe's really thick, you're going to need the longer neck. And the reason behind that, here's an example. I used this medium-sized one on a heel of a cushioned heel, and it's very soft, and I needed to install it with the longer neck. And what it does is it pushes the cushion of your shoe down, so then you won't make good contact. It just looks bad. It won't feel good. You need the longer neck if you're going to install it somewhere on the shoe where there's more thickness in the sole. The majority of people are going to put the shortest neck with the shortest screw. Most shoes are going to only require this, and in some instances the screw might come out further. So on this shoe I have it set up in 2 places. I have it in the heel and in the ball of the foot. I like the ball of the foot. The reason is because there's less weight that your foot pushes down on that area, so you don't feel it. And then you can run the wire up your arch, and that's where I find I don't feel the wire the most. And on shoes, this is the thinnest area of your shoe. Some shoes it might be thinner, so if you have barefoot shoes, you find you might have to put it in the heel. But so on this shoe, I've tried multiple places. This is a thicker running shoe, and I found I need to put it in the ball of the foot. I don't like the using the longer T-nut and the longer screw in the back there. I don't think it feels good. I like it. I would just on most shoes installing it right there. So what you're going to need for this installation is a hammer, a Phillips head screwdriver, and needle nose pliers. You can use these too. This is what I use to strip wires. So let's install it on this shoe. I'm going to install it towards the front. This is a pretty thin-soled shoe, pretty flexible, a little bit thicker in the heel. So that's one reasoning I'm putting it up here. What I'm going to do is take the nail, feel with my finger right above the arch is where I want to put this. So I'm feeling with my fingers, because I can feel in my mind like where my fingers are touching right now. Now I'm going to put the nail there, and then I'm going to hammer and put a hole in the bottom. Bam. So now I got that through. I can pull the nail out, take the Phillips head screwdriver, and stick it in the bottom of the shoe to work that hole to be a little bit bigger. And then once you have it through, I can gauge So I'm pushing it all the way through to where I feel it with my finger. I'm gonna pull it out. That's the thickness of the sole there. So I need the thinnest, the smallest T-nut and the shortest screw. So let's go ahead and install this. And if you find you need a shorter length wire, because on this shoe particularly, it's a little bit shorter than my boots. So I don't need as much coming up out of the shoe. So you're gonna utilize the shorter cord that I include. And that easily just unscrews, put it on the new grounding cord. All right, so let's go ahead and install this in the shoe. What you're gonna do is take the Phillips head screwdriver, put it in the bottom here. And then I'm gonna take my screw and it's through the grounding cord O-ring. Now I can feel that Phillips head screwdriver and I'm gonna push it back through. Okay. I'm gonna take the T-nut and push it against this. This might take some force to get the screw to make connection with it, depending on how thick your shoe is. So I can feel that the screw is now gone in. Sometimes you might need pliers. You don't want this to start spinning and shredding your shoes because there's small teeth on here. So you just want to make sure that's not spinning. Then before you tighten it, make sure the cord is coming down the center of your foot, and then we're going to eventually have it come up the arch of your foot. So one thing that I think a lot of people are going to find is the screw is a little bit too long. So you have a little knob that comes off. I did that on purpose on this shoe. I actually like that knob coming out, so I get a little bit more of the screw contacting the ground when I walk. If you're going to be walking indoors or on surfaces that can scratch in your house, you're gonna wanna file that down. And at a hardware store, you can get a metal file for like a few bucks. And what you do is you just file that down for a minute or two. That'll wear down pretty quickly and be flat and flush with this. These don't wear out very easily. This has been in my shoe for a year. And when I take out the metal, it's rounded and almost formed to the shoe a little better. And it's worn down a little bit. It's a little bit thinner, but this thing is holding up really well. In the bottom of the shoe, with how much I use these shoes, I use them for everything. I don't use any other shoe, and I've been walking on this for over a year and have had no issues. But I'm including an extra thin T-nut just in case, because I think the majority of people are going to use that this specific T-nut and the short screw. So once you have this installed, then you're going to take the shoe, what do you call these? The insoles, and put it back in. The thicker your insole is, probably the better, because then you really won't feel that in your foot. And then run that up. One thing you can try is duct taping the wire if it ever bugs you in any ways. So I have that running up the side of the foot, and then bam. And in this example, I said you would use the shorter wire because you want this probably like that, not up your ankle that high. You don't need that extra length. So you would install the shorter wire that's included.